You've met them. The person who commands every room. The person who can't lose an argument. The person who somehow turns every conversation back toward themselves. You call it arrogance, but what if you're looking at the wrong thing? What if the performance isn't proof of confidence? What if it's proof of something breaking? Behind every narcissist is often a person carrying a fear so deep they can barely face it themselves. A fear of being ordinary.
When people hear the word narcissist, they usually imagine someone selfish. And sometimes that's exactly how narcissistic behavior appears. But psychology often works in reverse. The behavior you see isn't always the problem. Sometimes it's the solution. A wound covered by layers of performance. A mask worn so long that it starts to feel like a face. Let's explore 7 traits that reveal what's really happening. The first thing most people notice is the image they create. They want to appear successful, important, exceptional. And at first glance, that looks like confidence. But real confidence is quiet. Imagine a person who mentions their achievements in every conversation. It looks like pride, but often it's protection. The grand image acts like armor. Armor only exists when something underneath feels vulnerable. Most people dislike criticism, but narcissists often react differently. A small piece of feedback can trigger anger or complete withdrawal. Criticism doesn't feel like information. It feels like danger. Imagine building your identity around being exceptional. Then someone points out a mistake. You're not watching confidence. You're watching panic. Without that image, they don't know who they are. Everyone enjoys appreciation, but narcissists need validation differently. Validation becomes emotional fuel. A compliment provides relief. Then the fear comes back. Imagine someone checking social media dozens of times a day. Every notification lifts their mood. Every silence lowers it. Confidence comes from within. This is dependency. This may be the hidden fear beneath everything, being ordinary. For a narcissist, it can feel unbearable. They equate being ordinary with being worthless. Imagine 2 people losing a competition. One thinks, I lost. The other thinks, I am a loser. They spend enormous energy proving they matter. Healthy relationships require vulnerability. You have to let people see your flaws. But narcissists spend years building a controlled image. Letting someone see behind it feels risky. Imagine dating someone who seems perfect, but when things become emotionally deep, they pull away. The problem isn't that they don't want connection. It's that connection requires exposure, and exposure feels dangerous. Few emotions are more painful than shame. Many narcissists carry hidden shame. They believe they are somehow defective. Because shame hurts so much, they avoid it. Imagine someone making a mistake. Instead of accepting responsibility, they blame others. Accepting fault would force them to confront feelings they cannot tolerate. Imagine being an actor who never leaves the stage. Every interaction becomes a performance. Every mistake feels dangerous. The false self grows stronger. The real self grows weaker. Eventually, they may not know who they are beneath the mask. The performance was never the answer. The performance was the escape. And escapes eventually become prisons. When people hear the word narcissist, they imagine someone arrogant. But underneath is something more human. A fragile self-image, a fear of shame, a desperate need for validation. None of this excuses harmful behavior, but understanding changes the picture. The people who spend the most energy proving their worth often doubt it the most. The loudest display of confidence can be a cry for protection. All of us wear masks. All of us build defenses. The goal is to become honest, to slowly put down the armor, to stop performing, and discover that being ordinary was never something to fear. It was always part of being human. If this perspective gave you something to think about, leave a comment below. Share your thoughts, because understanding human behavior starts with honest observation. Not judgment, not blame, but understanding. If you'd like more videos exploring the hidden psychology of human behavior, subscribe and join us for the next one. See you next time.